starting tomorrow.
This emergency proclamation will be in effect until next week when leaders meet again on the 13th. It's important to note that this mandate only applies to indoor spaces in certain parts of the county. That's unincorporated areas, Gibsonville, Sedalia, Pleasant Garden, and Jamestown. But the county's two largest cities, Greensboro and High Point, will not enforce this mandate. County Commission Chair Skip Olson says he's very concerned about the record number of cases and says it's taking a toll on area hospitals.
High Point Mayor Jay Wagner says he will not consider bringing back a mask mandate for his city. Instead, he's just urging people there to do their part in fighting the virus. He's recommending people get vaccinated or boosted, limit large indoor gatherings, work from home if they can, wear masks, wash their hands, and social distance when possible. Wagner wrote, "I do not believe in limiting your freedom with mandates, but responsibility is the price of freedom. We are still in this together."
State leaders say amid surging COVID case numbers, they're also keeping an eye on hospitalizations in particular. Deputy Secretary of Health Cody Kinsley says 80% of hospital beds and 85% of ICU beds are being used to treat COVID patients. The department is worried about patient care and hospital staffing.
We want to make sure our hospitals are available for individuals to get care, whether that's care for COVID-19 infection or it's care for any other reason you would need to go to the hospital. So that's what we're watching incredibly closely. Now, with the case numbers that we're seeing being so large, if even a very small percentage of those individuals end up in the hospital all at the same time, it can create, if not for our statewide system, especially regionally, issues in hospitals.
Remember, if you are in need of COVID tests, do not go to the hospital. There are more options available for testing. If you're not sure where to check, you can go to the State Department of Health's website to locate a testing site closest to you.
Here are the numbers creating concern for the state's coronavirus task force. The latest percent positive is 29.7%. It's another all-time record. In fact, we have broken our state record each of the last 6 days. Keep in mind the state's goal is this red line, which represents 5%. We haven't met that goal since the end of November, more than a month ago. Today's number is more than 5 times that goal. Our percent positive has now been in double digits for 15 consecutive days.
Other Guilford County leaders are eyeing metrics too as students make their way back to the classrooms after the winter break. WFMY News 2's Avery Powell joins us live with an update from county health and school officials. Avery.
Both Guilford County Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras and Public Health Director Dr. Julia Van made clear today that school is one of the safest places for children right now, even with the COVID-19 surge during the holidays.
Although outbreaks in schools can occur, multiple studies have shown that transmission within the school setting is typically lower than levels of community transmission when prevention strategies are in place in these schools.
The district does require masking and follows the state recommendations. Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras says she doesn't see a situation where the entire district would have to shut down due to cases. That would be a call by the health department. However, individual schools or classrooms may need to go remote.
School closures had a devastating impact on our students' learning and on their emotional health and well-being. That's why we're committed to in-person learning and why we will do everything in our power to keep our students healthy and safe in our buildings.
District officials say they've been working with teachers to make sure they and their students are ready to switch to remote learning if needed. The district is also holding 3 testing sites at 3 different schools this week. We have those locations and hours over at WFMYnews2.com.
I have to admit, earlier today, heading out the door, I had layers upon layers as it was just that cold. Right now, though, temperatures in the low 40s, 41 is that current temperature in Greensboro. But as you look outside, there's not a cloud to even spot in downtown Greensboro. But like I said, it was an extremely cold start to the day. Now, it definitely wasn't a record breaker, but we were below average. 19 degrees there in Reedsville. quite bitterly cold, as well as in Greensboro, 24 degrees. Like I said, the temperature is now in the low 40s. But as we continue through nightfall, I mean, these numbers are just going to fall back into those low 20s, and some locations still getting to see some 30s. But I mean, that's just still cold. When we take a look across much of the eastern portion of the U.S., we are all kind of feeling this cold weather. Now, Jacksonville down in the lucky spot at 60 degrees, but elsewhere we're all feeling the cold. And if you look north, I mean, they're all in a mix of 30s. So overall, this cool weather is in place, but high pressure is keeping us quiet. And that means the radar not seeing much of any activity, at least across the Carolinas. But as we look towards the 7-day, there are some chances for rain once again. So not only for your days to start out tomorrow, and I'll break that down soon, but also even on late Thursday going into your Friday. And that does potentially feature some snow for some folks. Now, not looking at a lot of snow, but there is that possibility in the forecast. And I know a lot of folks after yesterday kind of looking forward to maybe seeing it again. But like I said, not everyone will get to see snow, and not really forecasting too much of it. But I'll break it all down for you, I promise, before this 4 p.m. hour ends.
Cleanup around the Triad continues as crews work to reach larger trees and down power lines that fell across roadways after yesterday's winter storm. These trees fell across Old Oak Ridge Road by PTI Airport, as you can see in the video here, blocking off one lane of traffic. City officials have the road blocked, but cars continue to drive around the barricade. It's a similar story around the Triad with these downed trees and blocked roads. Fallen trees and damaged power lines caused thousands of power outages. Right now, there are more than 10,000 people without power in North Carolina. Some of the harder hit areas in the Triad include Guilford County with over 2,000 outages, Forsyth County with more than 1,300 outages, Rockingham County has over 1,200 outages, and Randolph has just under 1,000. Duke Energy called in 200 additional crews from the coast and Midwest to help restore power. Jeff Brooks with Duke Energy said crews are doing all they can to get the lights back on.
You know, it's possible that a very, very small number, could potentially, if there's just complicating factors about their restoration.
The good news is Duke Energy projects all power will be restored across the Triad no later than midnight tonight, depending on where you are.
And if you thought we had winter weather problems here, look at this backup in Virginia. Hundreds of drivers were stranded overnight on Interstate 95. Traffic was backed up about 50 miles because of a crash involving 6 tractor trailers. State police there say one of them jackknifed in the ice and snow, causing a chain reaction. They've been trying to reach those semis to clear the scene, but there's just so much snow. First responders have been guiding stranded motorists to the nearest exits. Up to 11 inches of snow fell in the area during yesterday's storm. I think we've all been involved in traffic backups before,
yes,
but nothing like that.
Maybe not for a whole day.
My goodness.
I know one time, this has nothing to do with winter weather, we were driving I-95 south into Florida heading to like the Keys, and it was just backed up traffic where everything was stopped. And the first thing I think of is, you got to go, you got to go. And some of these people are stranded on this thing. We were literally within walking distance of a rest stop. That's the only reason that, So I just think of these poor people with that and trying to find something to eat and,
Or what if you were to run out of gas? And of course you want to keep your car running because it's so cold out there. But that just looks like a nightmare. I know that sounds a little cliche, but I can't even imagine. Just look how thick that ice is. I would hope that those people had to be at work or there was somewhere they had to be, because I probably would have stayed inside that day.
There's got to be stranded cars there that have run out of gas, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
for
how
sure.
long can your car idle without running out of gas?
Yeah.
Especially if you're one of those people who takes it down to 1/8 of a tank before you fill up.
And I'm one of those people, so that was
too.
why that was the first thought of my head. I have to actually have like 3 little ticks on mine right now. So after seeing this, I'm like, I need to go straight to the gas station.
mine counts
afterward.
down, you know how it say like 5 miles left?
Yeah.
I'll get down to like 2. I realized, because I pushed it so far one time, I realized that they actually have like 5 more miles that they don't tell you, trying to protect you from yourself.
Oh, I thought it was 30 more
But
miles.
now I found out, well, I've only run out once, and I remember what that was.
Just living on the edge over here.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Don't do that. We'll be right back. Typical.
All right, I am talking about ways to not shame people who have COVID at work.
Right now, we're all experiencing the setbacks of this new Omicron variant, and we're seeing more people get it than before, perhaps even more people you know directly, whether that's in your personal circle or at work. Today, Blanca Cobb, who has a master's in psychology, joins me about announcing positive COVID cases without shaming or revealing who has it. So Blanca, how can managers and companies alert employees of positive COVID cases without revealing a COVID positive person's identity?
One way not to reveal someone's identity is really using neutral language. For example, you can say someone, a person in your department. Those types of words, a person, someone, it's neutral. So that way you're not leaving room for someone to guess about who it could be.
So how can you have neutral body language when delivering this type of news?
You can have neutral body language when you have this mindset that you're sharing information to inform and protect. So if you have an approach or you feel fearful or nervous or angry, anxious, you know what's going to happen? Your body language is going to follow suit. But if you just have this mindset, okay, I've got to inform certain people because I have to protect everyone, then it's just going to be natural and your body language will follow suit.
So this is a tough one here. How do you have a conversation with someone about your decisions without making a person feel bad for possibly being exposed to COVID?
You can make somebody feel bad if you're passing judgment or you're making opinions about what they have done or not, or haven't done according to what you think is appropriate. If you just listen to what somebody has to say about their COVID situation, then you're not giving any ammunition. You're not making someone defensive. And that's what you want to do, is you want to be able to listen. No judgments and no opinions. And just think about facts. You need facts in order for what? To protect everyone. That's what you need.
All right. Thank you so much, Blanca. Lots of great advice here. If you miss any of this, you can visit our website. Go to WFMYnews2.com. Yeah, this is very, very important because it's something we're all dealing with every single day.
And I think especially at the beginning of the pandemic, when you would first hear about people getting it, there was a lot of that kind of like looking down on someone.
They got
because
COVID.
They got COVID.
It
What
was
were
early.
they doing when they got COVID?
I won't tell anyone that you got it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's become more, I don't know if acceptable is the word, but it's more of a norm. It's
more
now.
commonplace.
If you get it, you know, I mean, you can, we were talking about this earlier, you can literally get it anywhere.
Literally, like going to the grocery store, not to scare anyone, but you literally don't exactly know where you got it from. So instead of looking at this person like, oh, well, they were at a social event, or this person did everything they could, they did everything right and they still got it. It's like we feel bad for the people who we think did everything right, and then we like shame the ones that we think were being too social.
But I did notice what you're saying is true, is that a year ago, people would be like, oh, and then like you're like, they don't want anything to do with you or your face, stay away and get away from their house. But then I think now it's like, when did you get it? And the guy's like, oh, May, me, July, you know, that kind of thing. I think it is more commonplace, which takes down that pressure a little bit.
And I think for a lot of people it's difficult too, because, you know, especially at the beginning when we were told stay indoors, don't go to restaurants, don't do that kind of stuff. It was easier to do because we thought it was such a short term problem, right? We've been doing this for almost 2 years now. I mean, at some point, you know, you've got to be able to leave the house and feel comfortable doing it.
I think the best thing that we can do is just continue to wash our hands, you know, keep our distance and do our part to help stop the spread. But if we do know someone that gets it, just support them, you know, check and see if they're okay, but not really like make them feel bad for getting it, because you really kind of can get it anywhere.
Just a phone call to check in on somebody once in a while. Yep. All right, we're going to take a short break. We're coming back in just a few minutes. Stay there. Well, if you watch our show regularly, you may remember a story I did a while back about an elf on a shelf SRO at Rockingham in different schools up there. That would be Shane Woodall. He's a great guy. He has another talent, but this one more serious. He's helping families that are suffering loss. He crafts beautiful wooden flags for families of soldiers or law enforcement or first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Take a look at part of my conversation with him this morning. Shane, this is so cool. You and I have talked about this a while back when we did an interview for a whole different thing, but tell me how you got started with all this woodworking.
Started years ago, actually when I was 7 or 8 years old. I would go out in my papa's wood shop and just beat around on the wood here, wood there, and I would watch him. And actually I use, this is actually my papa's big hammer, and then he actually cut me a small one down. And I've used those. I've had them ever since. But I saw this online about the flags and people that were making them. So I decided I wanted to, give me something to do in my spare time. And it's really took off.
And I love what you're doing with some of them. I know you make some of these just for fun, but some of them have a purpose behind it. Tell me what you're doing with some of these.
What I do is for anybody like law enforcement that has passed in the line of duty. I will make a flag and put their name on it, and then I will send it to the family. I never ask for address. I always send it to the department. And also here a while back, I just made 13 flags for the fallen soldiers that were killed in Afghanistan. That was kind of a pretty good task. I sent some to funeral homes that delivered to the family. Actually, where I'm a school resource officer, I reached out to 3 school resource officers because those individuals had just been out of high school a couple years, and they actually helped me get them to the families.
Tell me how that makes you feel. I mean, when you're doing that, that's something with a purpose. That's a project with a purpose.
Yeah, it makes me feel good knowing that, in a time of what they're going through, it's just something that can be hung on a wall that can remember all the good that they've done.
Shane, this is good stuff you're doing, man, right from the heart. Thanks for taking time out today. His work is beautiful, and as he said in the beginning, he got it all from his granddad. So when he was little, he would hang out in his wood shop and learn how he did all that, and his granddad cut down a hammer so he could have one to work with. And he still keeps those around and works on this. But they're really beautiful pieces of art. They're different each time he does them sometimes, and he sends them to everything from first responders, whether it's police officers or fire rescue people who lose their lives. Their families get this, of course, or soldiers.
I love stories like this when you have someone who has their day job. He works at a school, he works with children, and then outside of work, he has his passion. He works with wood making and different things like that. So it's always nice to hear those new details about the people that you meet.
And what a fascinating guy he must be. I mean, you talked about the other stories that you've done on him when he was the elf on the shelf. I mean, I think the theme here is he just likes to make people feel special.
Yes, that's right. And there's no money involved with this. He actually doesn't bother the families. He keeps it at arm's length. So he calls their battalion leader or their office, or he said he's actually had to reach out to funeral homes, but some way to get them to those families. And he'll put a card on the back and just say it's just a gift. So
that is very thoughtful.
It's really neat.
Wow.
He's a
Great
good
work.
guy, good guy. All right, we'll take a break. We'll see you in a bit.
Hey everybody!
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but we are back. Hope that you had a great holiday. Hope you had a great new year. And it's just nice to talk to you guys.
We're back.
We're back.
We back.
I'm gonna log in.
Let me get on this live stream so I can chat with you guys.
How long do
via
you think
text as well.
it will take you to write 2022 instead of 2021?
Oh my God, I've already made that mistake twice.
I won't name the coworker, but a coworker was telling me yesterday about how she, I said a gender.
See, already narrowing it down.
She accidentally put 2021 on a check. I said, a check? You write checks? You guys
I
write
still write
checks?
some checks.
I
For
have
what?
a checkbook, but I will only write them every once in a blue moon, like twice a year.
It's probably been a year since I've written
Oh,
a check.
really?
Yeah.
So it's fun. I have a couple friends who refuse to do the cash apps. You know, they won't do Venmo, they won't do all that, and so I end up I don't carry any cash anymore.
I always have an emergency $20 bill in my wallet.
Do you really?
Just because
That's smart.
If you're ever, I end up using it every once in a while, but I mean that sucker will sit in there for a good couple
And just
of months.
be all wrinkled
sitting
up.
there.
Or you'll forget it's in there and you're like, oh, hey, when I switch out purses, I'll find like a random $5. Like, oh,
That's nice.
Well, the
struck
people are
gold.
Commenting here. CenturyLink, is that a cash app? What's that?
CenturyLink. I mean, CenturyLink is like an internet provider, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's what they're talking about. Yeah, they're talking about problems with
I
the
love
internet.
Cash App. It just makes things simple.
I do
Yeah.
too. I've
You're like,
Venmo all the
I'll
time.
cover the check or, something like that, and you just split it with someone if you're on a trip. You split gas. It's just,
Have you ever
so quick.
have you ever been in a situation where somebody's owed you money and so you've requested the money
And it just
but
sits
they
there?
just sits there?
No, that has not happened to me.
We should have.
I might pick
Blanca
up the
Cobb
phone and be
do a
like,
segment
Yes,
like
how
that.
to handle that.
Right, because Foothills Brewing in Winston-Salem is preparing to sell thousands of beers to help Pilot Mountain recover from the recent wildfire. The company began bottling 24,000 Pilot Mountain Pale Ale beers today. The president says the proceeds will go toward recovery efforts from the 1,000-acre fire. The boxes that hold the beers will also have a QR code linking customers to a donation website.
It was very sad to see it burn. Basically, the whole park burned. I mean, it's still there and it's going to be okay. Things will come back, but there is a lot of work as far as trail work and stuff. It was one of our first beers, so it means a lot to us. When we opened at Foothills in 2005, we had that beer on tap, and so we thought we would just re-release it and try to raise some money and help out where we can.
You'll be able to find the beer in grocery stores and bottle shops by this week or next.
Weather conditions are quiet today, but I'm keeping a close eye on what's up next. So this high pressure system keeping us quiet for today, but as we're on the backside of it, we're getting this southwesterly flow. That means early tomorrow morning, we will see not only a little bit of a warm up, but also some drizzle across the area, as well as some mostly cloudy skies. I know you see that cold front moving through. This one not expected to necessarily bring us any active weather, but we could see some breezy conditions throughout the day on Wednesday. Next thing up after that, we have this area of low pressure kind of taking a very similar track to what we saw just a couple of days ago through the weekend. But this system not expected to bring as much rainfall or even as much active weather as what we saw in terms of severe weather to eastern areas and even southern counties as compared to us. But as we go over the next couple of days, I hinted at the idea of snow, but it's not the case where you need to start going to the grocery store and packing up anything in your homes to make sure that you are safe and prepared for any severe weather event. Not going to be the case. Most of us will more than likely be asleep as that system moves through very quickly early Friday morning. And we talk about how much we can expect to see. Take a look at this. Most places maybe a trace of rainfall, but what we'll have to see as we get closer in time to early Friday morning, we'll be able to give you a better estimate of what we can possibly expect, but not looking like a significant totals. Have yet to show the 7-day, but here you have it. So that early rain, snow chance going into the parts of your Friday, so ending out your Thursday, going into Friday, things a little bit drier but colder for Saturday, and then another rain chance for the start of next week.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Good afternoon and happy Tuesday to you. I'm Chad Silver here with Lauren Coleman, Eric Chilton, Monique Robinson. We got to do it every Tuesday now, right?
Every Tuesday.
Marketing.
2 for Tuesday.
It's all marketing.
Yep.
Well, welcome to you all watching the 4 to 5 at home, Fire Stick, Roku, or the WFMY News 2 app or online. We have some big news we want to get to. Guilford County's mask mandate will return. Starting tomorrow, the emergency proclamation will be in effect until next week when leaders meet again on the 13th. It's important to note that this mandate only applies to indoor spaces in certain parts of the county. That's unincorporated areas, Gibsonville, Sedalia, Pleasant Garden, and Jamestown. But the county's 2 largest cities, Greensboro and High Point, will not enforce this mandate.
There is a growing effort today to get more people to get more help to restore power in our state. Temperatures will be below freezing again tonight. Keep in mind there are more than 14,000 North Carolinians still without power. Guilford County is still dealing with more than 2,000 outages. Forsyth has more than 1,300, Rockingham 1,200, and Randolph about 1,000. Duke Energy says it's called in 200 additional workers from the coast and Midwest to help restore power. Monique, I know last night, the big concern was the black ice. Will that be an issue again today, or is everything basically gone?
Now, for the most part, I think that sun has done a really good job of evaporating a lot of that leftover puddles and things. And throughout the day today, a lot of any of those leftover puddles that froze overnight are now melting today. Let's take a look outside across the area. All of us sharing in these nice blue skies. It's really nice when you walk outside and there isn't really a cloud in sight. Doesn't mean we're expecting active weather for today, but things change as we go over the next couple of days. Now, the temperature for tonight or the early start of your day tomorrow is going to be in the low 30s. Some locations a little bit colder than that. Some places a little bit warmer than that. But tomorrow we'll be back up at 51. That's a little bit warmer for the entire 7 days. So I will certainly take it after this morning, really bundling up from those very, very chilly temperatures. I mentioned this earlier. We are expecting some stronger wind gusts throughout the day tomorrow, kind of bumping up between 15 and 20 miles per hour out of the west through Wednesday afternoon. Things dying down as we end out the day, but then picking itself right back up by late Thursday as that next system approaches our area for the late evening. I mentioned it again earlier, kind of want to show you a different view on here with the timing. So we're talking late Thursday going into your Friday, and I really think northwestern counties of North Carolina are more likely to see snow than any southern county. So Asheboro, not really so much in the mix, and maybe even not Burlington either, as things east of us are not really expecting, east of Greensboro, not really expecting to see any of that wintry mix, but still a possibility. And like I said, as we get closer in time to Thursday, we will be able to have a better forecast for you. And then next rain chance after that doesn't arrive until Sunday as another cold front sets itself up and then brings us colder air for the midweek next week.
And the city of Greensboro has activated a white flag response as tonight's temperatures plummet. Anyone needing a warm place to stay tonight can go to First Baptist Church on West Friendly Avenue starting at 8 p.m.
All right, friends in the studio, friends at home, I want you to finish this saying, I scream, you scream.
We all scream for ice cream.
Yay! Okay, right. We all scream for ice cream. There it is, right? And because of where we live, I say we actually scream for snow cream. You see, I X'd out the ice and I got the snow on there. So do you think that this is like a thing?
It's always a thing whenever it snows around here. We always hear about it.
Oh yeah, me too. Growing up, we always, but you know, it's funny, my mother always say, do the second snow. I don't know why, but she said the first snow has impurities in it.
It's like Lucy from Peanuts. She said she never ate the first flakes either.
That's right.
Lauren?
I actually have not tried this before.
Okay, the snow cream. Well, here's what I found out about snow cream in general. From chasingtheseasons.com, they had a brief history of ice cream or snow cream. Archaeologists found distinct cups dating back to 2700 BC, and these cups had like a bigger area for the fresh snow or crushed ice, and then they had a small area that held warm cooked fruit so that you could kind of mix it in and swirl it to make your own ice cream. So this is my question. What do you put in your snow cream, or would you want to put in your snow cream? Check this out. A friend on Facebook posted this yesterday. The kids enjoyed the snow. Then they made snow cream, and I want you to take a look at their bowls because really close. They have marshmallows. They have chocolate sauce. They have sprinkles. Like, they did it up with all the fun things. So what would you add?
It depends if I have to go to work that day.
Okay.
Very
I think
true.
you know where I'm going with this one.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, we always just did the typical milk, sugar, and vanilla, but I mean, I think based on what they're doing, I'd love to put some like chocolate syrup in there.
I would love some Reese's cups because I love
Ooh.
anything
that
with
would
peanut
work.
butter and chocolate.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so let me give everyone the standard recipe. I want you to get your phones out so you can take a screenshot because we're going to get more snow, right? At some point, we're going to get more snow. All right, so I want to show you the recipe here so that you have it. Pretty simple. 4 cups of snow, then you have some milk because you have to make it creamy, hence snow cream, right? 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, here's a few twists that I found. You can make it coconut-y by adding coconut cream instead of milk. Maple snow cream, add maple syrup and take out the vanilla and the sugar. Or you can do sweet cream. You would add sweetened condensed milk instead of just the regular milk. So, thoughts? Did you have a favorite on that?
Probably the syrup.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
me
going
too.
maple.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'm
Yep.
absolutely going maple.
Yep.
All right, so here's my last tidbit on the snow cream. Chill the utensils before you start.
You can even go one step further than that
Oh.
too, like the whisk,
Yes.
the mixing bowl, the spoon.
Yeah.
Put that in the fridge.
makes
You can even
sense.
put it outside. I mean, if you've already got the snow, it's
Right.
cold enough to be chilled.
That's right, because it will keep the snow cream from melting when you mix it. Leave it up to Wisconsin to know that. All right, there you go. Lauren, it's up to you now.
I'm going to try that the next time it snows. Well, if you are a woman and you're looking to explore new career opportunities this year, the Women's Resource Center of Greensboro is offering several new workshops to assist with the job search. The Women to Work program is open to all job seekers, from the first-time employed to those changing careers. Community Education and Engagement Director Hope Strickland says the free virtual series will provide women with networking strategies, resume writing skills, interview techniques, and more.
And this is to get people ready for job searching in this new era. There's so many things going on virtually now, including interviews. And so this program can help women kind of navigate all the changes that have been happening with what it means to work now.
Strickland says participants must attend all sessions via Zoom. The center will also work one-on-one with each woman to support them during their job search and beyond.
They're in a setting with other women who are in the same position and situation that they are in. And so it's really great to know that you're not alone and to have a group of people that you can go through this training with.
The program will run January 24th through the 31st and February 1st through the 3rd. Sign up is now available. For details on this story, just look for this on our website. Whether you're hoping to start a new career or buy a new home, many of us have goals in mind for the new year. So I asked you on Facebook, what do you personally want to accomplish in your life this year, and how do you plan to achieve it? We got a lot of responses. Kalfani Oba says, finish my novel and write a movie script. The plan is just to write the story and not focus so much on the format. It'll come together. I like that. Brenda Huffman says, I want to pursue a stronger relationship with God, with reading and studying His Word and spending time in prayer. Patty Duke wrote, I plan on enrolling back into college to work on my PhD. Christopher Lineberry says, to get my finances 100% turned around. I am almost there. Lanny Mayfield, graduating college. Logan Lanier says, my goal is to finish broadcasting school here in the next few months and get employment as a reporter.
Well, Logan.
Nicely planned post.
All right.
Like that.
Slide
Good
us your
job.
resume when you're done.
So I like the idea behind this because it's not so much that it is a New Year's resolution, it's more as a goal.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like resolutions kind of have to start right now, whereas a goal is something that you can attain at some point throughout the year.
So what are yours, Chad? What's something you want to do this year?
So it's going to sound kind of strange, but one thing that I really want to work on doing is when I meet people in person, I remember their names.
Okay.
Because
that's a good
oftentimes I think about introducing myself and how I come across to them as a person when I don't actually remember their name when they tell me it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to borrow that one too because
Okay.
I'm great with faces and horrible with names.
Yep.
But one of mine is I've always wanted to learn how to paint. And so this year I'm trying to to get into that. I've talked to my wife about, for my birthday this year, I want kind of a paint set. I want to give it a shot.
We have something kind of similar going on. So my goal is to find a new hobby. So some of the things on my list were taking like a hip hop dance class, painting was one of them. And I'm also thinking about taking up golf. A lot of people here at the studio do golf, and that's something that I've been wanting to pursue, so.
That's another one I can't believe you said that, because that's another one for me. I want to get my clubs redone and refurbished and get back out there. I talked to my wife, Leslie, I said, would you go with me? Like, we could do this together. And then she goes, can I just drive the car? I said, yes,
hey,
yes, you can.
It's quality time.
That's true, that's true.
She could be your drink girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we'll roll with that. That'll work. I didn't say that, honey. He did.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm a bad influence.
Oh, you guys are so silly. Perfect. What are your goals at home? If you want to share them with us, we are live on the Facebook live stream.
Today on U Day, Coach Lamont reminds us that our future is bright and the past is simply something we can't change.
As I reflect over my life, there are many things that I wish I would have done differently. Some things I regret deeply and wish I could go back in time and have a do-over. Have you ever felt this way? The truth is, no matter what mistakes you have made, there is nothing you can do to improve your past. However, you're still breathing and have a great life ahead of you. So even though you can't improve or change your past, you definitely can improve and change your future. Use your past as a playbook to getting it right the next time around. Prevention is the first step to the cure of repeated offenses. Lessons learned are only valuable when you are tested the second time around. It's a brand new day filled with opportunities to begin again. Invest in you and change your future. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
How do you like your coffee? Black, a little cream and sugar, or do you prefer a dash of coffee with your cup of cream and sugar? A company in Finland is brewing up a new way to use coffee and give you that caffeine kick you need.
Many of us use that jolt of Java to get moving in the morning. Now a company in Finland is turning that caffeine kick into actual kicks.
Sneakers made from coffee. Yeah, it's crazy. We know.
Wren's used a Kickstarter fund to brew up their waterproof sneakers using old coffee grounds.
We actually took it and mixed it with recycled plastic pellets made from used water bottles.
It takes just over a cup of used coffee beans to make a pair of shoes. That translates to 21 cups of Joe.
The upper part is made from majority coffee waste.
Globally, we produce more than 23 million tons of coffee waste every year. That's a lot of shoes.
We actually realized that only 5% of the coffee waste in the world actually got recycled.
And when it breaks down, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas experts say is about 30 times more harmful than CO2. Makers say wearing that waste is a fashionable way to help save the planet.
We want to be a brand where it's like, yeah, we make sustainable products, but they are cool. They have really cool functions. People can actually use them.
A sustainable style that could also help cool the world.
See, I like this because those shoes are really stylish. I could actually see myself wearing those.
I know, because the first time you hear that, you're like, all right, well, let's see
these
what
are
they
gonna be
look
some
like.
bulky
Right,
looking.
right. No, that looks great.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where it's like, who figured this out?
Yes.
And how did you figure it out? I mean, were you just experimenting with different things to make shoes, and then you all of a sudden came across coffee grounds?
Coffee grounds and basically broken apart water bottles, you know, like that's incredible.
I love that. And I also wonder while I was watching this, I wonder if they smell like coffee.
I know,
Were
I
y'all
was thinking that too. Yes,
okay.
yes.
And then if you got your shoes wet, would the coffee leach out into your skin and give you caffeine? I mean, how?
Now they might be able to develop something where the caffeine comes in through your feet and you'd be ready to go.
Right. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I'm picturing this in my head and I'm seeing someone get super energized. So that's why
Like
I'm
a
over
video
here.
game. Yes.
Level up.
Level up every time you put those shoes on.
But I mean, hey, and I mean, it sounds like from the sounds of the story, I mean, coffee grounds are bad for greenhouse gas emissions. So, hey, all right.
Which I didn't even know that. Now I know that.
I didn't know that either.
See,
I
they're
didn't
way smarter than
know
we are.
wasted so much. Yeah, they are.
That's all
And
of
stylish.
I like that. All right, we'll keep you posted on that. If you get a caffeine boost from your shoes, we'll let you know.
2022 is going to be a fun year.
Never forget what? Okay, wait. What? Where? I know, but what are we looking at right now? Oh, yes, we used to have somewhat of a traffic cone, right? Sitting there until our director, Brad, on the right, or in the center, ran into the control room after he'd adjusted a camera and tripped over it and fell down. Tasha has to tell me that did he fall all the way down to the ground, or was it just a stumble? That's a little demo there. I like that. Poor Brad. That is funny. Yep, no traffic cone. It's gone. All right. Kill my mic so I can explain to Lauren and Chad. All right, in case you didn't know, today is National Trivia Day, and I absolutely love trivia, so in my constant quest to try to be a game show host, I forced Lauren and Chad now to do trivia. So what I did was I went out and bought a Trivial Pursuit Family Edition, so I have no idea what are on these cards. I'm gonna let each of them take turns. Chad will just go with you first. You pick a category, and I'm gonna read it. You're gonna ring the bell. Whoever rings the bell gets to try to answer it. If you get it wrong, the other person can take the point.
I feel like I'm on Family Feud.
Right. I like pink for entertainment.
Entertainment. All right, here we go. So get ready. So you can ring the bell if you need to. Yep, hand on the table. Which record label was not started by a rock band? Apple Records, Virgin Records, or Swan Song? Lauren.
Virgin Records.
Virgin Record is exactly right. That's Richard Branson started that.
Hey.
1 point
Okay.
for Lauren. Nice. Okay. Lauren, you get to pick the category now.
Let's do blue geography.
Ooh. Yes, that's okay. What word is commonly used to toast cheers in Germany?
Prost.
Very good. One apiece. I didn't know that. Prost. All right.
Got to be German to know it, apparently.
That's right. That's right. Okay, category.
Let's do orange for sports and leisure.
Okay. Which precious gemstone gives its name to a global athletics league? Quartz, sapphire, or diamond? Who got it?
I think it was you.
Diamond?
Diamond is correct. The Diamond League is an annual series of track and field competitions. Yes, 2-1.
I would have just guessed on that.
Category for Lauren.
We are going to do, let's mix it up. Let's do purple, arts and literature.
Oh, okay. But this is like grammar too. Okay, so in the phrase "see you later," what part of speech is "see"?
Oh, can you list the
No, you got 3 seconds.
the verb?
Yes, very good, very good.
I was an English major,
Are we
so.
tied 2 apiece? I think we are. Chad, you pick.
Okay, let's do green, science and nature.
Science and nature. Carbon dioxide gas makes up most of the Earth's atmosphere. True or false?
True.
False.
All right.
Do you have any idea what it is?
Negative,
You want to guess?
Wait, what was the question again?
What makes up most of the Earth's
I mean, I think you
Oxygen?
atmosphere?
just say false.
Nitrogen.
Oh.
Nitrogen. All right, category.
Let's do science and nature, green.
Is that green? Okay.
Is that what we just did?
Yep.
Let's do yellow history then.
Okay.
History.
After being released from prison, who jointly won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 for his work to end apartheid?
Nelson Mandela.
That is exactly
Nice.
right. Nicely done. Okay, one more real quick. You pick the category. Chad.
All right, let's do orange, sports and leisure.
Sports and leisure. Allspice is made from nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. True or false?
True.
False.
Yeah, that
That's all the time. It's a spice in its own right that comes from dried berries.
How
That's
is
the
that
answer to
sports
that.
and leisure?
It's leisure.
I'm
This is
just the
rigged.
trivia queen.
Nicely
Just
done,
give me
Lauren
my
Coleman.
crown.
Nicely done.
Are we doing weather?
Yes, weather is next. I will add in nitrogen, oxygen, and argon are the 3 gases that make up the Earth's atmosphere. Here's a look at our satellite radar. Things are quiet now. When we zoom out to a wider view, there is actually some really active weather happening up here. I mean, tons of warnings, watches, all in effect related to wintry weather there. We're not dealing with it here, but as you can imagine, with temperatures at 5 degrees in Bismarck, -10 in Great Falls, you are certainly dealing with wintry weather if there's any type of precipitation. So definitely prayers out to those folks, but they pretty much deal with that every time throughout the winter season. Tonight we're expected to kind of get around the temperatures of where they're feeling. Not any negative numbers, but at least in the 20s. 23 down, dropping again in Reedsville, 28 in Greensboro. When we look out west, a mix of more 20s. As I look at it, I just shiver because it's just going to be so cold. There is very likely for an AM drizzle across the area as those clouds build in. And I want to give you time to take a look at this full forecast. Thursday, take a look at this. Rain chance / snow going into your Friday. We might get that change over early in the morning. More than likely, most folks will be asleep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
95 the whole time, and I'm crazy. Okay, wow. Hey.
Hi, Alabama, Alaska.
Hi, Callie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe.
It's Mason. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot think of more than.
Check. Mic check on. Sorry.
It's time for my 2 cents. I have one question for you. How's that New Year's resolution going? You're on day 4 of maybe eating healthy, working out, or maybe reading your Bible more. Some of you are probably killing it, feeling energized and ready to conquer the world, while others, well, may already feel defeated. According to DiscoverHappyHabits.com, only 7% of survey participants stuck to their resolutions in 2019. Only 19% kept some, but not all of their resolutions. This year's survey says 31% plan to make a resolution. That's up from 2020. Most people set a New Year's resolution to improve fitness, lose weight, save money, and improve their diet. I'll be honest, I really want to lose weight too. I'm still not where I want to be after having a baby, but you know, sometimes pizza just sounds really good. And I want to tell you that it is okay. If you're determined to see this resolution through, that's great, and I know you can do it. If you've already given up though, well, that's all right too. Maybe you just need to set a new goal for yourself. No matter where you stand with your resolution, let's all make it a resolution to support each other as we take on 2022. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
We begin with breaking news right now on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. A new mask mandate starts tomorrow for parts of Guilford County.
Now, this only applies to the county and certain cities and towns that signed on. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland joins us to explain.
It's important to note that this mask mandate only applies to indoor spaces in certain parts of the